Person has to separate the tzitziot, right? Tzitziot here, you have to separate. See the tzitziot, you have to separate them, make sure they're separated. Today it's a little bit more easier to separate. In those days it was all mixed up like this. So it says mitzvah to separate. Question is why you have to separate? Oh, question is why you have to separate it? It's big deal. If it's not separated, what's the big deal? Let it be together, what do you care? It's in my pants anyway, I'm wearing tzitzit, you know? What's the difference? Okay. Each string has to be on its own. One should not be tied to another one, right? A person is gonna prevent from praying because he's gonna start separating tzitziot. He's not gonna pray with tzibur. He puts his tzitzit on his shoulder and starts separating them. Well, should they already start Baruch Shamar? Until it's separates and puts on the tefillah, they're gonna go to Rei Shema Yisrael. And he's gonna be without tzibur then, right? So it says don't check. Why? Because we put on chazakah. What's chazakah? If you checked yesterday, you say it was kosher, right? So you put us on the status whatever it was before. Chazakah means you put on and say it was kosher, so it's kosher. Why should I assume it's not kosher?
If it's yours.
Unless there's a reason to assume why it's not kosher.
If it's yours, but if
right.
If
it's yours, of course, yeah, it's yours. For example, what's a chazakah? If something was kosher before, we don't say it was treif now. For example, by animal, right? You have the 18 trefot by the animal, right? We only check one. Why don't we check all other trefot? We put on the chazakah. We say he was born kosher, right? So you put on kosher. We say it's chazakah. The status is kosher. So why do we check the lungs then?
Well, it's the most problematic area.
Because even though the lung also has a chazakah, but there's a miut matsui, meaning in the minute problem of being not kosher in the lung is more common, like we see today. Out of 100 animals, only 25 become kosher.
So why in Bet Yosef we don't taking this consideration?
We do.
In Bet Yosef that we're talking about this.
We do, we check.
намного легче.
Не, у них что-то другое. They go with the sirchot. Question was sircha. Because when you mix a whole, right, it starts growing a balachka, and it goes on the walls and on the bones of the animal, right? So the sircha is loose. We say it's just like a liquid fluid because the whole thing is made out of fluid, meaning there's fluid all over. So they go like this, and it breaks the sircha. They say it's kosher. Why? They say right.
Well, we
don't allow any sircha. Right, but they say it's kosher because we see it's not, because if you would be balachka, right, it would be very strong. You'll be able to break it. Then it's tarif. Anyway, I don't go into that. The point is that you put on a chazaka. If something was kosher, we don't say it was not kosher. It was kosher then, it's kosher now. Okay, so the Bet Yosef, he brings down the reason. Why? He doesn't bring down the reason. I don't know why. The Shubur doesn't bring down the reason. Why do you have to check the tzitziot? Why have to separate the tzitziot? The rabbi came?
Yeah, he just came.
Okay. Why do you have to check the tzitziot? This is what it says here. It says like this, Tan Rabbanan. It's bringing down from Masechet Menachot Membet Amud Aleph. Tzitzit, ein tzitzit ele anaf. Lechen yomer, here when you have tzitziot, this part is called the gdil. This right here, right? This is called the gdil. This is called tzitzit. This is called anav. This part right here. Okay, that's Masechet Menachot. Then it says like this. Talking by the locks of his head. Right? You have to separate it. So what's the source of the separation? Abai says it. Abai says this anav has to be separated. You can't be together. It's like the hair locks of a non-Jewish woman. In those days, what they used to do is, when they made like a ponytail, on the head it was tied up like this, like a gdil, right? And on the ends it was loose, the hair. Like today they make some women Uzbek, they make this also. Jamaican, right? They tie them up, they make like a, and then in the end it's open. So Abai says, same thing with tzitzit. On the top, he says you have to have the gidil, like the hair of this goyish woman, and on the end,
You have to
separate them, like this. Right? Upish Rashi kibilori shel goyim, like the hairlocks of the goyish woman. Dvukod milmata uprodot milmana. On the bottom, it's tied up, it's knotted, and on the top, it's loose, meaning close to the head. It's tied, it's made gidil, and on the top, it is loose. What's the reason? V'katav be'itur. So the Itur on the Rishon gives a reason why. What's the reason? It says, Tzit Shar Aleph, right? It says, Be'idan techelet ka'amar. When is Abai talking about? It says, when do you have to separate it? When you're tchelet. What is tchelet? The color, the blue string. In those days, it was machloket. How many strings you need? One or two? It's machloket. In argument, one or two strings have to be tchelet, right? So Abai says, when do you have to separate them?
When you have the tchelet.
Tchelet. Today you have tchelet. No, so why do you have to separate for? That's how the Bala Itur explains it. But we don't hold like that. Right? You separate the tchelet to one side and the lavan, the white, to another side. Right? So what's the name? So this is the Lashon of the Itur. The Itur says, the rabbi, he says that, why do we do it today? Zecher. In the memory of Techelet. Shalom Aleichem, Rabbi Nava Shema. Да. Вы нам дайте знать, мы сразу пойдем. So he says the reason why we separate the chelet is not because the tzitzit has to be separated. He says because for the separation of tzitzit, not because it has to be separate in itself. We don't care if it's separate now, but what do I care? It's together. The answer is because of the chelet. The chelet we have to see a separation. This is the chelet, this is why. We need a separation. You understand? So he said in today's days, the separation is not because it's the halacha. It's not me'aked if you don't separate it. Because of the chelet. That's according to Bala Itur. That's what he says. So if you look at the Shulchan Aruch, it's mashma that the separation is not because of the chelet. The Gra brings down and he says like this. Okay, כפירש רש"י, צריך להפריד כפירש רש"י, כי כתב כל הפוסקים, דלא כבעל האיתור. It's not like the Baal Eitur, the Gra says. The separation we do today is not because Baal Eitur says it's zecher. No, the mitzvah is to be separated. It's a tzutita means this has to be, it's a, not that it's maybe it's not me'akev, right? If it's in together, but still the mitzvah, maybe hidur mitzvah, it has to be separated. That's what the Gra says here. He says it's marshal from the Beit Yosef. He says from the Maran. There's shikata bitchila leafrit tichel letzad echad. What the Baal Eitur wrote that the tichel has to be separated to one side and the lavan to the other side. According to him, you don't have to separate because it's only a zecher, right? This from this. What does it want to say? Meaning, it's not zecher. It's you have to separate because you can have tziyot together. They have to be separated. Okay. That's what the Gra says. That's why when you do circle, you put it in the foil. You take foil, you put the tziyot inside, and you wrap them well, and you put it in the machine. Сейчас химчистку, не, он говорит про маленький tziyot. Будешь химчистку, там до $10 не стоит химчистку сдавать его. У тебя tziyot $10 стоит, хочешь химчистку, еще $10.
А вул я сдаю $20.
Вул окей, вул дорогой ты сдаешь.
$20, скажем.
Да?
Сдают, каждую неделю сдаю.
Да, я понял, окей. Вул издаешь, стоит он.
Тогда раз вы его открыли сами, допустим, все это правильно.
Да, но ты можешь его открыть?
Да.
Окей, все, если можешь, тогда все.
Будете вручную стирать, не машинки.
Okay. Okay, weiter. Next halacha. Halacha 2, then we go. Brit today. Okay, Chet, Yichabem b'yitatfo. Now he says he's gonna call us. When you put on, it says tzitzit, person has to have a kavanah. Why are you putting on tzitzit, right? שציווה הקדוש ברוך הוא להתעטה בו כדי שנזכור כל מצוותיו לעשותם. Person has to remember when he's putting on tzitzit to remember all the mitzvot he's supposed to do because they remind you of all the mitzvot, right? That's this is the purpose of tzitzit. הלכה ח' וזהו מלבד הכוונה שצריך לכוון בלבישה לקיים מצוות ציצית. He says besides the kavanah person has to have remember of all the mitzvot he's putting on tzitzit right now, right? There's two things he has to remember. One, he's doing the mitzvah of tzitzit, and two, he has mitzvah that he wants to remember all the mitzvot of the Torah we're putting on tzitzit. The Katav Bach, the Bait Chadash, right here.
It's only for Talid, no?
Both. Katav Bach, שכן הדין בתפילין ובסוכה. What does tefillin say? למען תזכרו. What does בסוכות says? למען ידעו דורותיכם. Right, I think. This למען ידעו דורותיכם. What's the pasuk? Maybe he's going to bring it down, let's see. ועד בשעה מצוות יוצא אף שלא מכוון בדבר. He said, in the other mitzvot, you don't have to have kavanah. Today we make l'shem chod on everything. In those days, you don't have to make kavanah. כי אם שעושה המצווה לשם השם, שציווה לעשותה, just to have in mind, I'm doing it for the name of Hashem, because He commanded me to do the mitzvah. Hanach shani. These are different. Why? They be tzitzit k'tiv, or here he goes. Ve'etis k'tiv lema tizkiru. Tzitzit says lema tizku. V'tfilin lema tiyeh Torah Hashem b'ficha. Right? But tefillin also says lo tizkiru. Lema tizkiru it says by tefillin. Okay, so he brings this pasuk. Lema tiyeh Torah Hashem b'ficha. Okay. U'b'sukkah lema yidu dorotechem. That it should be in your that the generation should know. Meaning, I'm saying sukkah not for person sukkah only, for generations to know. Not only l'shem mitzvah, for all generations to know. So you're doing the mitzvah for not only for mitzvah itself, but for other reason also. Right? מכל מקום נראה דכל זה לכתחילה כדי לקיים מצווה בשלמותה, but this is only לכתחילה. Initially you should do like this. But b'diavad, if you did not have in mind, you still use the mitzvah. If you put on tzitzit, the maaseh itself is mochia that you're doing the mitzvah. Okay? אבל בדיעבד, אף אם לא חימם בכל אלו רק לקיים המצווה עשה, יצא. If you just had the מצווה, כוונה יוסף, ואחר כך מצאת בפרימי גדול בסנח אבחי, שכתב, וכמה שבעולו התמיד ולא רגרה, שאפילו בצית אין כוונה לעיכובה. There's a big מחלוקת between אחרונים, if you say לשם חוד today. Everything you say לשם חוד, right? So the Nodab Yehuda, he was one of the Rishonim. The Ashkenazi, I'm sorry, Achronim, Ashkenazi, he says like this. He says, we don't find anywhere that person has Seli Shinchud. He says, you don't have to make Seli Shinchud. Even if you don't make it, say you still Yotzim. Okay. Bri.